Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. It's your host, Matt Zahab. We are buzzing as always, and I've been waiting for this one for a while. Before we get started, as I always do, whenever I'm invested in a company and guest that is coming on the show, I always let the listeners know. And again, guys, I am not rich. I am poor, super poor. And I do not have a relatively large bag by any means. But as always, I must do what is needed and what is the right thing to do. And I do own Coinbase stock. I love Coinbase. I feel like a lot of us in the space love Coinbase. They are the GOATs. And I just wanted to get that out of the way right off the hop. But now it is time for the intro. I'm super pumped to have the one and only Sid Coelho-Prabhu on the pod today, Senior Director of Product Management at the one and only Coinbase Wallet, the self-custody wallet that serves as a gateway to the on-chain ecosystem. Sid joined Coinbase back in 2017 with a goal of helping to build a more open financial system. Prior to joining Coinbase, he was the CEO and co-founder of Savvy Investments, an online investment advisory and management service. Sid, pumped to have you on the show, my friend. Been waiting a while for this one, and here we are. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a treat. Welcome. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Matt. Good to see you.
You as well, dude. You as well. Let's jump right into it here. You guys are... I don't even know where to start. You guys have just been moving and grooving for so friggin' long. The battles with Brian and the SEC sort of being the face of North American crypto, being the only sort of company that hasn't pulled the rug from everyone yet. I mean, that's not true. There's a lot of incredible other companies in North America, but the most popular, the most well-known in North America. I absolutely love it. You guys are trailblazing. And again, as I said, I am an investor, but that aside, just a big fan of you and the team. So huge shout out to you guys. Some recent news as we are recording on Wednesday, July 10th, folks. Sid is going to give us some treats, a couple little blockbusters for some new products coming out. But before then, some massive news that came out yesterday or the day before. The Republican Party has declared in its official platform its commitment to the right to self-custody. This is massive. You and the team have been busting balls for years now to finally get this happening in the political sphere. It's finally happened. What does this mean for us as the space? And when are the Dems going to jump on board too? When can we just have one big happy crypto family, Sid? When's that going to happen?
You know, I was so excited. I had to pinch myself when I saw the news because, I've been working on self-custody for a while now. I helped launch Coinbase Wallet. And I never in my wildest imagination thought it would be part of a presidential platform or a presidential debate. And to see that happen is amazing. I think what's happening is that politicians are realizing that 1 in 5 Americans owns crypto.
Yep.
It is an incredibly important thing to be aware of. That, a large number of voters who care passionately about these crypto assets and what's happening on chain will be going to vote. And you want to encourage and you want to support that user base and you don't want to alienate them. And so I'm glad that at least one political party has understood that. To some extent, there's nothing more American than owning and self-custodying crypto, right? It's it's freedom. It's It's economic empowerment. It's really something great to stand for. It should not be a partisan thing. It should not be something that's only on one side of the aisle. I think ideally everyone recognizes this as a tool to empower any American and any citizen with access to economic power, access to investments. It's a good thing. And so I'm really glad that it's now become a topic of conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think the Dems will adopt, or is this not on their agenda kind of thing?
Who knows how the next few months will play out. I certainly hope so. I think there's the official party platform, but then there's also individual politicians running in individual races who are seeing, right? I think they're getting their own constituents are calling in and saying, hey, this matters to me. Crypto matters to me. I want you to be on the right side of this. And so, you may see even at an individual level that things start to change.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting point. Before we get into your past, which I'm curious about and love to get into, and of course, Coinbase and how much you guys are launching, I want to talk about work-life balance and just working at Coinbase. Again, the premier crypto institution in North America and very well likely the whole world. What is it like working there? What is it like working for Brian? I remember when Brian went on that tweet storm a couple years ago, one of their quarterly earnings came out after, and he gave the whole, we're here to grind, we're here to work hard, we don't care about, race and this and that. It's like we execute and that's all we give a shit about. I absolutely love that. That rattled a lot of cages, that ruffled a lot of feathers. But again, you guys are a for-profit company. None of that other shit matters. Your job is to produce as much capital for your investors. That's what the whole purpose of a for-profit company is. But with that being said, could you tell any stories, Sid, about what it's like working for Coinbase, some of the work-life balance, maybe some of the pros, the cons, just anything and everything, just so we can get a better idea of what it's like working for the premier crypto institution in the world?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've now been at Coinbase almost 7 years now. And so I've had a kind of a very, very exciting ride here from kind of like the early days to a lot of our growing, hyper growth, some of the growing pains, and now where we are today, where I think, a very successful company that's well admired. And some of it is just, I think, the principles we have, like be the safest and easiest to use. And so, most trusted and easiest to use. And so that's a big piece. Like security matters so much to us. We care just so much about like how our users, like, do they see us as a trustworthy brand, as a trustworthy product, as someone who will do the right thing for them, that they should trust with their assets. The second is just dramatic focus on ease of use. And we care so much. We prefer just looking at, when we're looking at products, we look at the mocks, we look at the user experiences, we talk to customers obsessively to make sure that our users are going to have a good experience. And those are the two principles, right? Like being safe and being easy to use. Apart from that, I would say just this, we have a very strong bias to action and results. So, we have a culture, we ask ourselves every week, what have we shipped? What have we done this week and moved the needle? How are metrics doing? Less floating around in bloated strategy and strategic conversations and more like, put stuff out there, action produces information, talk to customers, build products, see what's working, what isn't, and take it from there. So I think those are a big part of our culture. And yes, we do work very hard because, we care a lot about the work we do, but we take time to recharge. And so that's important. We actually just came off a 1 week recharge where the entire company, except for people working on emergency on call, they take the time off just to go spend time with family, touch grass,
Love that.
recharge. And then we come back ready to sprint again for another few months and like go pretty hard. And I think that helps bring some of that work-life balance and normalcy.
I love that. Are most of you guys back in office?
No, actually, we have a fully remote culture, but we do actually have multiple offices in multiple like cities around the US and elsewhere. And we encourage people to come in and spend some time. So just today, for example, the last couple of days with my team on the Smart Wallet, which is one of the recent products we launched, we wanted to get together and just like have a brainstorm and like, work through metrics and stuff. So we just flew into New York, spend a couple of days together, and then we fly back to wherever we came from. So we have kind of a hybrid culture where everyone is remote, but we fly into kind of when we really need to hit a whiteboard, we have that space as well.
I love that. Last question on the work-life balance and just sort of the work culture there. You said very sort of diligent on shipping and efficiency and output. Are there any sort of non-obvious metrics that you guys use or anything that when you got to Coinbase, you found to be incredibly helpful and needle moving, whether it's pieces or lines of code shipped every week or just sort of weird things that really move the needle that you never thought would have?
I think it's setting the pace and like amping it up, right? When you come up with a plan, you may often be tempted to say, okay, over the next quarter, we'll ship this feature and, it's going to take us 3 months. And then you can generally sit down and say, okay, can we move it faster? How could we move it faster? Right? What could we do to get these things out so we can learn faster, right? Instead of, otherwise you start to build something now, you ship it in 6 months, then you start learning that actually maybe it was the wrong thing. So, now you need to pivot. So, shortening cycle times, sometimes cutting scope to get something out faster so we can start to learn sooner. We have a lot of those conversations to just try and like, especially as a leader now, like making sure that we're moving as fast as we possibly can. That's just like that's a part of our culture of like, moving very quickly to see if we can start to make impact.
Yeah. Move fast and break things, except not really break things because of the nature of the industry. Just move fast and build safe shit.
Move fast with quality. Yes, exactly.
Move fast with quality. I love it. Let's jump into the one and only Coinbase wallets. You had a great line where you were like, self-custody is about as American as it gets. And shout out to you. I've never heard that before. And I will be stealing that. I will give you credit, but I absolutely love that. Clearly someone in your shoes does not grind night and day and haul ass and really put blood, sweat, and tears into something if they don't give a shit about it. You are clearly someone who truly gives a shit about self-custody. Why is that, Sid? Well, what gets you going about self-custody? Maybe give us your sort of segue, your story into crypto and why you're so oomph? Why you got so much pizzazz about self-custody and what the future of that looks like?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think it's so much of my personal story that influences my passion for self-custody and crypto. I grew up in India, and I would often see, especially back then, India's, changed a lot, but like back then it was a very state control system. Finance, economics was very, very locked down. And I would see very, very inefficient capital markets. I would see inane restrictions on capital controls, on the sizes of loans that you could take as an entrepreneur. That I would see my dad struggling with this way. He'd have to go to 20 different banks to get small loans because there were arbitrary caps on the amount of a loan that you could take at one bank, but you could go to another one and open another one. So he'd just be going from door to door trying to get, more loans for his business. And that made me think we can do better. Then later on, I happened to, my first job out of college was on Wall Street as an investment banker in 2008. And so I had literal front row seats to the financial crisis and the total meltdown. I actually started at Merrill Lynch, and within a few weeks, we were almost insolvent. And I kind of saw how much power we've given these centralized financial institutions, and when they get things wrong, how they can muck up, everyone's lives. And self-custody pushes out a lot of power to the edges, to the people that actually own the money, less trust on centralized institutions. And then a little bit later on in my career, I started up a regulated financial service in India. And there again, I saw the paperwork and bureaucracy and, all of the roadblocks that you put to just helping people have a safe and secure financial set of investments. And it was so painful to serve customers with the traditional financial system that when I read the Bitcoin white paper, when I learned about self-custody, I said, wow, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something went off in my head. I said, this is the new system. People are in control of their own finances. They don't have to beg for permission to participate in the financial system. And that matters much more. In the US, maybe it doesn't matter as much. You go to like Argentina, you go to Nigeria, you go to many countries around the world where financial systems are just not working. Banks don't work the way they should. Your currency is deflating all the time. You can now exit that system and enter a system where everyone has access to it. As long as you have a smartphone and the internet, you can you can be your own bank, store your own money.
So powerful.
Entrepreneurs can build financial services, and they can build it without all the red tape that comes with traditional financial services. They can offer those services to anyone around the world. So I'm sitting in Turkey. I build a DeFi app there. I have users in Morocco. I have users in Philippines, all using it. And it's all super efficient, right? Like the way a bank would probably hire like 50 programmers to create some financial feature. You can have one person sitting in the basement that writes like that financial feature as a smart contract, and it's live in 5 days, right? Or 2 days. That's unprecedented. And so those are all the reasons, that I kind of going back, reflect on my own personal history, that I just, fell down the rabbit hole. And I think this is like on-chain finance and self-custody are the future.
I love that. Great spiel there. Why is it taking so long for us to get to this point? And again, you have players like you in the space, a bunch of others that, that don't need to be named at the moment. But I mean, I even remember 3 years ago in 2021, when I sort of during the last mega bull market, when I was onboarding a significant amount of people in my network, the non-Web3 folks, and the same thing was still, Matt, why the fuck am I jumping through all these hoops? Like, it's still nightmare fuel. Why? I mean, we're still not there, Sid, and it's almost 2025. Like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah, there's a host of usability and scalability issues, right? Okay, so let's take a step back, right? Crypto has only been around, since 2008. So that's,
16 years.
Yeah, brand new technology. I think the ones who understand crypto, they know it's a promising technology, very cool. Just like the early days of the internet started probably in the 80s, right? But for a decade, it was not usable, at least. Now, and what were the big usability problems, right? Private key management, you've got to like write down this 12-word recovery phrase, and then you're like, oh, if I lose that, I've lost my money. People don't like that, right?
Yeah.
A second is just, if you want to use it for financial services, but you have a volatile currency, like you want to pay someone, you pay them in Bitcoin, and then your prices go up and down, and you're like, wait, I paid you $90 and I received 80, right? What's going on? The expense of using blockchains was pretty high, like Ethereum fees, Bitcoin fees have been $50, $60. Like expecting anyone to pay that for a transaction, and to think it's a better experience, that's a non-starter. So, and then And then scalability. It's funny. It's like it was a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, or a closed loop system where if an app was popular enough to really take off on any blockchain, it would become so popular that it would congest the blockchain, and then like the blockchain itself would like basically freeze or become unusable because of high fees. And so, for example, I remember like vividly the first month I joined Coinbase back in 2017, CryptoKitties took off, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly it was like the first like popular app on the blockchain, NFTs. And it got so popular that fees shot up so much that the network became unusable. So in a sense that these networks were not actually scalable to more than 10,000 people using it at the same time, which, when you think about the scale of Visa type networks or internet type networks, you can't have a network that only supports 10,000 users. So now that's the history of the last 5 years. In the last year, I think everything has changed. And that's pretty amazing. So I'll walk through how, the things that have changed, and we're helping to do some of that. But some of the big things that have changed are, let's start with scalability, right? We now have layer 2 blockchains that can support like tens of thousands of transactions, right? And so, for example, we recently launched Base, but there's also other layer 2 blockchains and new technologies out there, there's Solana. With all of these networks, like the constraint is no longer scalability. So, if you build an app, you're not going to be worried that as soon as I hit 10,000 users, they're paying tens of dollars of fees. You could pay literally 1 cent to do a transaction or less. We just reduced fees again today on Base, and they're even cheaper than they were before. The second is usability. So, for example, we just launched the Smart Wallet product a month ago. And what the Smart Wallet is it's a new wallet technology where when you go to use a dApp, instead of needing to then go away, sign up for a new wallet and install a new wallet product, then go to an exchange and buy crypto and deposit it into the wallet product, then go back to the app you started on and then use it there and then pay gas fees.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah. This is the stuff you were talking about. It's a pain. Like, it's impossible. It's like a death march to get someone onboarded. Imagine this now, right? You go to an app and they say, oh, you need a wallet to get started. You're like, oh, you hit create wallet. You create a wallet right there in in like literally 2 seconds. You literally hit create wallet, and like without leaving the website or anything, right there, we have a passkey based wallet that we create for you. And then if you're one of the 100 million Coinbase customers that we have already today, if you have funds in your Coinbase account, you can automatically spend from that account directly on chain. Which is not possible for you. You've never been able to spend out of because the centralized exchanges are the largest pool of customers of crypto owners in the world and the largest asset base in the world, right? Probably $100 billion plus sitting on Coinbase right now.
Wow.
You can now go and use those on chain. So you can create your wallet and do the transaction. And by the way, we also have other technology that we've launched as a part of this called like things like Paymasters, where you can actually hide the gas and you don't have to worry about like spending gas at all. The user doesn't have to think about, oh, I need money for gas. They can just like, either the dApp can pay for it or the user can just pay in whatever currency they have. All of that just happens in one click. So coming back to the original, like I said, hey, scalability sucks. We fixed that. Usability sucks. We fixed that. And so now we've created, I think, the conditions for the next wave of growth where app developers can create something. They have an idea for some app, like something cool that you can do on chain with the Lego blocks of like, DeFi or social protocols or NFTs. And now they don't have to worry about these new normies going through like a 30-step, onboarding. Normies can get started in 2 clicks. I think that's going to kick off the next wave.
Sid, you're on a roll, but we got to take a quick break, my friend, and we need to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of the show, that is Prime XBT. And when we get back, we will continue to buzz on everything Coinbase, the Coinbase Wallet desktop app, and the Smart Wallet. Can't wait to get into these. And folks, by the time this episode airs, one is actually currently under embargo, but by the time this episode airs, the news will already be out and it will be hot and fresh just for you guys. So can't wait to get into that. Until then, huge shout out to Prime XBT, longtime friends and longtime sponsors of the Crypto News podcast. We love them as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a veteran. You can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XBT is also running an exclusive promotion for listeners of the Crypto News podcast. You can use the promo code CryptoNews50, that is CryptoNews50, to take advantage of this offer. Again, that is CryptoNews50 to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. And now back to the show with Sid. Sid, let's jump back into it here. let's start with the Coinbase Wallet desktop app. I know you teased a little bit, spoke very little bit about it, but do a big deep dive. This is literally a one-stop destination to explore, manage, engage with not just Base, but the blockchain. To my knowledge, it sounds like it's the beautiful Coinbase app, except on desktop, which is pretty friggin' awesome because people like me, I hate doing any crypto shit on my phone. It's just like, I want the big screens. I want multiple screens. I like having big charts open. That's just me, but to each their own. But the floor is yours. Please give us the goods on the brand new Coinbase Wallet desktop app.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, super pumped. We're launching this tomorrow. I guess by the time we see this podcast, we'll have just launched it. It'll be fresh off the press.
Yep.
It's on Coinbase Wallet. It's wallet.coinbase.com. It's our new desktop website, desktop app. And it, addresses some of the biggest pain points we've seen from our users. And so many of our users, just like you said, hey, I want to be able to use all of my, on-chain assets on desktop. And I want a whole big screen experience, full screen experience to be able to see my holdings, to be able to manage them, etc. The other big pain point is a lot of users have a lot of different wallets now, right? Like if you're in the Solana ecosystem, you might create one wallet. You're in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you create another wallet. And they want to be able to manage those multiple wallets in one place. And then the third pain point is even people that are interested in on-chain, there isn't really a place to go to see what's new on-chain and to discover the latest trends, the latest apps that are trending, the latest cool NFT mints, the latest coins. And so we wanted to solve all of that. And that's what we're doing with wallet.coinbase.com. It's our new home of on-chain. And it's basically the app you can open up every day to manage your portfolio. You can connect any wallet. You can connect an existing Coinbase wallet. You can connect Smart Wallet. You can connect, if you have MetaMask or you have Phantom, all of them. And you can add multiple wallets. So you have 5 different wallets. You can add them all and use.
That's my favorite part. Being able to connect all of them into one hub to see everything. Come on, let's go. Need it badly. Sorry, back to you.
I love it. And then what you can do is you can transfer between those wallets. You can trade from any of those wallets because we have a trading feature. You can buy crypto into those wallets. You can cash out your crypto. So any of the kind of financial operations that you want to do, you can now do those on any of these wallets. And then the other big piece is seeing what's new on chain. And so discovering the latest apps, discovering cool NFTs. That's another big piece of what this platform has.
How much of a gong show was it to actually, you were the product manager for this friggin' app. How tough was this to build? A lot of moving parts there.
A lot of moving parts. I would say I'm very proud of the team who's done really incredible job to, when you think about the complications of supporting almost every wallet in the ecosystem, then adding on top of that, full portfolio functionality, and then also all of the send, receive, trading, all of that, and then also helping all on the discovery side of things, right? There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and love that's gone into this. So I can't wait. I just hope it makes our users happy and gives them a great experience.
It's also got to be incredibly difficult to get all the different wallets. I know you guys already work closely with them, but getting the MetaMask, the Phantoms, the wallet connects everyone locked and loaded as well, making sure all the chains work, making sure interoperability is locked and loaded. Like, it's not just internal. There's a lot of waiting on others too, especially in crypto, different time zones, different countries. No one responds to friggin' emails. You got to hit them up on TG or Signal or slide in the Twitter DMs. Like, it's not like traditional Web2 business. In some aspects, it moves a lot quicker, and in some aspects, it moves a lot slower. There's nuances to it.
Yeah, I think luckily the ecosystem, I have to give props to the ecosystem, has done a really good job for wallet connecting capabilities. So, there's kind of universal standards now for how wallets can connect to apps. And in that sense, this is just another app now. And so we were able to use quite a lot of the ecosystem tooling that is, makes it easy to connect, to bring any popular wallet and connect it. But I don't think anyone has really done this where it's just all in this one portal and it's really easy to use. And so that's the piece that I'm really excited about.
I love that. I'd love to jump forward just a little bit and talk about sort of your guys' role in the broader adoption of decentralized applications, dApps, as we like to call them in Web3. Everyone sort of understands your guys' role as a wallet provider and realistically the number one most trusted institution in crypto and one of the biggest exchanges in crypto, the biggest North American exchange in crypto worldwide, depending on the day. But how do you guys sort of tie in and help the broader mass adoption of Web3 and dApps as a whole?
I think there's two or three ways. I think the first is we just invest and make sure that the tools are good and usable, right? We just discussed the Death March, Nightmare Fuel type scenario from the last few years of how hard it was to use on-chain apps, and both because of usability as well as scalability. And so that's been one big, massive investment area for the last 3 years is just make these products usable, make wallets usable, make blockchain scalable across the company with the base team, the wallet team, just trying to make like the best in class wallet, the best in class blockchain. Those have landed now. I'm excited. Like those are now live. That's almost like in the rear view mirror because they're live. We'll keep improving them. But before that, I don't think you could even expect to bring 100 million people on chain if the user experience sucked and if the network couldn't support them. Now, the next big move is distribution and promotion, right? So now the tools are usable. We have 100 million users on Coinbase. We have many other people in the ecosystem as well. How do we introduce them to all of these cool things that are happening on chain, whether it's new apps or DeFi protocols or social protocols, or if it's NFTs, right? All of these cool things that are happening. And so that's actually, funnily enough, that's another thing that we're launching tomorrow. And it's been live for the last month, but tomorrow is like the official big coming out moment where we're launching a whole website around it. It's what we call On-Chain Summer. And so I don't
On-chain summer?
On-Chain Summer, yeah.
I love that.
And so this is the second, it's our second season of this that we're doing. We did last year was the debut. It was super popular. And the whole idea is there is so much cool stuff happening on chain. What if we were actually able to be like a community platform where we find, and anyone can contribute to it. It's an open platform where everyone can submit all the cool stuff that they're building, whether it's NFTs or games or social apps or anything you're building. And we have one place to discover it all. And not only can our users discover it, so now they'll be able to discover it on wallet.coinbase.com. We're launching that tomorrow. And we'll also give users rewards, and we'll give them it's like a big game where users get points and they get to redeem the points for merch, or they can even buy merch. They can buy cool on-chain merch from a bunch of different partners. And we've already had so many partners that are really like well-known names. Like Adidas just did a mint that was very well received.
I saw that.
Yeah, we had, I think the Wu-Tang album that was out with Pleaser DAO.
Yep.
Inside the on-chain community, we have like the Doodles drop, and we have so many other partners. And so every single day of summer, we're going to give people, our users, at least one, if not more, cool things to do on chain. And that's kind of the power of our distribution, our ability to take all of our customers, show them these cool things to do on chain, and spotlight all of the creators, spotlight the innovators. It's not just big brands, it's also so many like independent creators that we've talked to that we want to give them a platform, make them successful. Stay tuned for that. Please check it out. Go to wallet.coinbase.com, check out On-Chain Summer. There's a lot of cool stuff happening there.
I love it. Sid, we are getting a little tight for time. A couple more questions and then we'll wrap up here, mate. What other areas of crypto get you going? Obviously, you're a big self-custody guy. You love the whole space. You love anything wallets related. Are there any other areas of crypto, DeFi, DePIN, RWAs, any H2 hot takes or predictions you'd like to make for us before we let you go? Again, listeners, we are recording on July 10th. This episode will air 5 days later on July 15th. And we still have all of H2 minus 15 days ahead of us by the time you hear this. Any hot takes, any predictions, Sid, that you got for us?
I think payments, it's something that we sleep on in the West because I think, we're generally pretty well served. You and I, we probably use Cash App and Venmo, right, with friends. It's exactly. not really a pain point, but it's kind of an underrated story that probably half of crypto adoption is happening outside of the West with stablecoins and for savings and for payments. And so there are many countries around the world where, like I've named some of them, like Argentina, Nigeria, and many parts of Southeast Asia and the Middle East, Turkey. And these citizens of these countries have very real economic problems and realities that they're faced with. And many of them are exiting to crypto. And, it's very different than in the West. We're talking about DeFi and DEXs and NFTs and some of them are on the more creative art and speculation, that side of things. This is a different story altogether. This is about survival. It's about basic economic security. And we're seeing, I think, some of that original promise of crypto, right? That's really playing out. And we're starting to spend more time there as a company, as a product, and me personally as a leader, spending more time there, just trying to like build and serve those use cases. And I think the rise of like stable coins means things are stable. We've enabled instant free payments. So if I was to send you money, I could send you USDC, no matter where you are, whether you're in the US or you're in, Brazil or Turkey. I could send you $1 and it would show up in 2 seconds. We've tested this time, but it's faster than any payments app in the world, I think.
Wow.
And for free. So that's the kind of stuff where I think it's going to take off. And before we know it, both for global payments as well as local payments, maybe not in the West first, but eventually I think people are just going to realize, hey, we have these coins that work anywhere in the world for fast free payments. This should be how we operate.
The only sort of place that I've really had a taste of it over the last couple of years, and I haven't even been, just had, an Argentinian girlfriend and met some Argentinian friends when I was living in Mexico. But just fortifying your point there, they all use, I don't know if they use Coinbase. I hate to say that. I know they use Binance. I know a couple of them have Binance. I don't know if you guys are operating in Argentina. You are?
No, we're not. Coinbase Wallet is.
Coinbase Wallet is.
Coinbase exchanges. And so users usually need a combination of the exchange to buy the crypto and then the wallet.
Send it over. Got you. Okay. Because if you were, I would tell all my Argentinian friends to, giddy up and get on over to Coinbase. But again, just fortifying your point, they all use that. That's how they send money to friends. That's how they send money to parents when they're working in Mexico and sadly sending money back to their parents in Argentina. This girl I was with, she told me that I want to say 2010, the Argentinian peso, 10 Argentinian pesos was worth $1. Now, 1,100 Argentinian pesos is worth $1. The biggest banknote they have is now 10,000 Argentinian pesos, which is $10. People go to the bank and they take out garbage bags full of cash and it's only a couple $100. And again, they are all beyond screwed. And what do they do now? They go to crypto. So I concur. And for us, it's very difficult. When I have some contractors for my biz that I need to pay, if they accept crypto, I'd always rather pay them in crypto. It's so much easier. It's quick. It's easy. They don't get screwed by Western Union. They don't get screwed by the banks. There's no T+2 bullshit. But again, just like you said, for us, it's tough to sort of quantify and put our finger on because it doesn't affect us in any capacity. We have some of the best payment rails in the whole world in Canada and USA. So I love that point. Great way to conclude there. Anything else before we let you go, Sid? You've been on fire today.
Thank you. No, listen, it was great chatting with you. I love to talk about this stuff and thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, man. Before we let you go, can you please let our listeners know where they can find you personally and of course, Coinbase and Coinbase Wallets or Coinbase Wallet online and on socials?
Yeah, we have, for me, I'm on Twitter, Sid_Coelho. And we have a Coinbase Wallet handle that's pretty active. If you want to see everything that's happening on chain, just follow Coinbase Wallet on Twitter.
Amazing. Mate, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Can't wait to have you on for round 2. What an episode, and pumped. You and the team are awesome. Keep building and keep on being that safe haven building block that we all need in crypto. Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Folks, what an episode with Sid Coelho-Prabhu, Senior Director of Product Management at Coinbase Wallet. Folks, we touched everything self-custody related, the importance of it, the history of it, the future of it, crypto wallets, of course, the 2 new Coinbase products, the new wallet web app launch, and of course, Coinbase Smart Wallet. We touched the adoption of decentralized applications, on-chain summer, payments, and crypto being vastly underrated, a little bit of building on base, and the repubs finally implementing crypto in the official party platform. Hopefully that just won them a couple million votes, because we'd love to see that. Folks, what an episode. Huge shout out to Sid and the team for making this happen. If you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please do subscribe. It would mean the world to my team and I. Speaking to the team, love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Eustace, you're the man as always. And back to the listeners, love you guys. Touch some grass, keep on growing those bags, and keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. Bye for now, and we'll talk soon. Ciao.